Are you looking for a low-risk mid-size hatchback with less power, less technology and more plastics? Well, look no further than the Kia Rio. Turbo for who when you can buy a 1.4-litre natural aspirated Rio for 350,000 rands with less torque than an Opel Corsa, Clio or Polo. I will try to explain torque in simple terms for those who don't understand why I always say things like this car has 73 kilowatts of power and 135 newton meters of torque. Oversimplifying things sometimes distorts the message, but it doesn't matter as long as everyone will have an idea what I'm talking about. Welcome to another video. I asked you guys which car review should I upload first, and most of you chose the i30N and the Rio. I went with the Rio because most of those who chose it are actually interested in buying the car, but Team i30N just wants the review for fun. So let's first sort out the buyers, we'll have fun later. In front, the entry-level Rio has halogen headlamps with no fog lamps, but with the other models you do get fog lamps. Also, the entry-level Rio LS doesn't have the shiny black grille insert you get in the Tech, EX and LX. Overall, the car looks good for ladies. I have nothing to complain about. But also this thing of buying a car no one likes, and you understand ukuthi. I'm not saying no one likes a Rio. Ngiyakhulumela nje in general, because one thing most people tend to overlook when buying a car is resale value. Again, I'm not talking about the Rio now. I'm just talking nje in general. Someone will spend 225,000 rands on a brand new Fiat 500, and when you ask why did you buy that car, I just bought it because it's unique. Unique? I win. So as you tell motor just because you want to be unique. Before buying a car, ask yourself what's gonna happen in 3 to 5 years from now when you try to sell it, especially if you know you may want to upgrade to something nicer in the near future. How many people are searching the car market for a second-hand Fiat 500 right now? And how many are searching for a Rio? These are some of the things you should take into consideration. Let's move on to the side profile. On the side, all the Rio models get alloy wheels as standard, 15-inch on the LS and LX models, and 17-inch on the EX and Tech. The entry-level LS doesn't get an integrated turning signal on the wing mirrors, while all the other models have turning signals on the mirrors and they are foldable. All in all, the side profile is just plain and simple, nothing too complicated. At the back, they continued with the simple design and the car looks okay. No visible exhaust pipes and no fake cutouts either. The boot space is 325 liters, which is smaller compared to the Renault Clio and VW Polo. Inside, all the models come with a multifunction steering wheel and a touch multimedia system. You will also get a center armrest in all the models, unlike in a Polo where you don't get an armrest in the base model TSI. Everything here is just old school, nothing fancy. We have the usual echo knobs and traditional analog gauges. We love fancy tech, but for now I think we must stick with this low maintenance interior design, because the more fancy features you have in your car, the more there is to go wrong with it. The people's car is a perfect example. With this car, you will get the normal klanchin-chinchi ignition, no push start stop buttons, even in the top of the range Kia Rio Tech. What sets the Rio Tech apart from the lower end models is the sunroof option and leather red seats upholstery. Yes, leather yomdubulo, but it's nice and comfy. I'm not sure about the aeroplane gear lever though. It looks so 2001. You also get a reverse camera and parking sensors on the Tech and EX models, but on the LX and the LS models, dololo. Legroom at the back is satisfactory, even when I'm sitting behind my driving position. There's one USB port at the back, not USB-C, the normal one. Overall, the interior is good. Even the scratchy plastic finishes are fine, because that's the price you pay when you buy a car in this segment. Now let's look at the not so good aspect, the performance. Let's start with the entry-level Rio LS. The 1.2 LS starts from 284,000 rands and has a power output of only 61 kilowatts and 120 Newton meters of torque. That's the same power you get with the Kia Picanto 1.2 Street, which costs 219,000 rands. Just buy Picanto once. The 1.4 liter variants, on the other hand, tech included, produce 73 kilowatts of power and 135 Newton meters of torque, no turbo. With the price of a Rio Tech, you can get a Corsa with a power output of 74 kilowatts and 205 Newton meters of torque and 11,000 rands change. For those who don't know, torque refers to, for the lack of a better explanation, I'd say pulling power of the car. When you drive a car with less torque, it tends to struggle when you are driving uphill. You have to do more change downs to keep the car moving. Otherwise, if you keep accelerating at a higher gear, the car will gradually lose power and eventually stall. In simple terms, we can say torque is the rotational force that is transferred to the wheels in order to propel the car forward. I've tried my best. If you still don't get it, angsat nam, as pumilap. The one reason I'd buy this car over a VW Polo is the slightly longer standard service plan of 4 years 60,000 kilometers and the impressive 5-year unlimited distance warranty. In simple terms, this means a Kia Rio warranty only expires after 5 years, regardless of how many kilometers you clock with your car. This shows that they have confidence in their product. With VW, after 3 years, you are on your own, and if you clock 120,000 kilometers for some weird reason within a year, you are out. Now let's look at the estimated cost of ownership. As a new driver, for this car you are looking at an insurance premium of around 1,500. Now let's assume you opt for a Rio Tech, which costs 350,000 rands. If you finance a 350,000 rands car with 0% deposit and no balloon payment for 5 years at the current prime lending rate of 8.25%, for those who are not aware, the prime lending rate increased by 0.5% last week from 7.75% to 8.25%. Hence, we are now using 8.25% for our estimate. Your monthly installment will be roughly 7,138 rands. So per month, your insurance and car loan installment will cost you around 8,638 rands in total. Add a young 1,500 rands nyana for fuel and you already crossed the 10,000 rands mark for a Rio. Let that sink in. I know some of you are probably thinking, for that money I'd rather get a second-hand Beamer. I'm with you there, comrades. For that amount, I'd also take my chances on a decent pre-owned car. But hey, it's very tricky there by the used car market. We're just shooting in the dark.